Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DCL Dollhouse, home of the DCL baby dolls. I've been wanting to say that all week, and I finally got the opportunity to say it. So let's keep things going. We have gathered here at Dollhouse tonight for another episode of Beyond the NFT. This is going to be a pretty good episode of Beyond the NFT because mainly of our guest tonight. He has been a guest here on the show in the past. He and I vibe very well, and I even got the opportunity to meet him in real life once before. We enjoyed lots of carne. Let- Let's leave it there at that for now. Um, Big shout out to everyone here. Welcome, Toxic Waifu. Hello, Rustan. I see Smitty Werbin. That's a new name that I haven't seen before. Welcome to you, and thank you for being here. Official Cube Man. I see OG Contraband in the side. And I thought I saw Miss B pop in here for a second. Maybe not. Big shout out to Metal Wolf, and yeah, if I did not call you out, my apologies, but I do indeed love you guys very, very much. Um, oh yeah, one final announcement before we start. Make sure to submit your screenshot to the Wearable Wars. I believe this week is Peace versus War. I I wonder who's gonna win here. This is gonna be an interesting one. Uh, we'll have to wait and see for all the results to come out. And now, without further delay, I would like to introduce our guest this evening. He is a wildlife photographer, Last Slice developer, and project manager at Angzar and In World Builder. It is a pleasure to introduce Mies to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me out. I'm very excited. It's been a while since I was on your show here, Sinful, and I'm sure we have a lot to catch up on and talk about since there's been so much going on. So thank you so much for the invitation. I really appreciate it, and thank you, everyone. So far, we've got looks like 18 or 19 people that have showed up. So thank you all so much for listening in and for being a part. Thank you.
Yep. And let's see, we have three viewers on Twitch, a couple viewers on Kick, and two viewers on X. That's awesome. I'm very happy that you are all here. Yeah, and yeah, Mies, definitely, we definitely have a lot to catch up on. Let's see, believe last time you were on the show could have been around, was it November or August, somewhere around there?
Yeah, it's probably been about 6 months almost.
Yep. It has been quite a while. Tell us, what have you been up to? I know that like recently for tonight, you kind of made the sudden shift from like the wilderness to technology.
Yeah, so it's been really hard, for me at least a little bit. I miss some of some of the nature and wildlife. So over the last 6 months or so, and really the last year, I've been spending a lot less time going out in nature, unfortunately. But I've been spending a lot more time working in Decentraland and doing a lot of different things with our projects for Angzar and for InWorld Builder. And so it's really been an honor to work with so many talented artists and individuals and just really be around a completely different world, than what I have been before that. And so it's it's tough for me because I have my love for nature and my passion for that at the same time. I have my love and my passion for technology and the metaverse, and so I seem to get pulled in one of those directions hard, one at a time. And so it's very hard sometimes to choose between one and the other if I have to. But they're so amazing. So I think the key thing is moderation. So that's kind of what my goal is for the next 6 months is to do a little bit of both and try to balance it out a little more.
Yes, definitely. I, as someone that barely touches grass, I think I need to take some of your words and, take the advice there and take that one step outside, get that one ray of vitamin D from the sun real quick. um, so, um, so kind of like bringing it back a little bit, at least in your Decentraland journey, how long or how did you find out about Decentraland, and how long have you been a citizen of Decentraland?
Well, I started 2021 and I got into crypto probably towards the end of 2020. And so that kind of started with just cryptocurrencies. And that was around the big Doge craze that was going on at that point in time. And I was really interested in the technology behind it and learning more about finance and maybe the future of finance. And then I got into DeFi and started learning about that. And really, when I realized that there was more potential than just finance and cryptocurrency, I learned about NFTs. And for me, at that point in time, as a photographer, as an artist, it was really, uh, it was really interesting, and it was something that I really wanted to do since I was younger. Before I became an artist or considered myself an artist, I had always had kind of a dream to have my work or something I create, like create a video game or have my work displayed in a video game or something like that. And so, yeah, I thought it would be really cool. That was kind of my dream to have just have other people be able to see something that I created, I guess, in a bigger manner than just something small or something that was hard to access or something like that. And so, I really got in NFTs March 2021. And that's also when I started learning about the metaverse as well. And so I had bought Mana before I even got into Decentraland. And I had it for probably a month or two. Uh, January, February, I got into it. And then I held it for probably a month or two before I even went into Decentraland. And my thoughts were, I was like, I've got this Mana and I've, maybe I haven't really done a ton of research, or I had done some research, but I hadn't really gone into it. And I was like, if I own this and I'm kind of like maybe investing in it or whatever it is, maybe I should go in there and check it out. And so 2021 March is when I became a citizen of Decentraland. So really, we're almost 1 month away from my 3-year anniversary as a citizen of Decentraland. Well, at the very beginning, I had some goals. And so my first goal when I got into Centraland, first I wanted to check it out, see what everything was about. I wanted to support artists as well. And so one of my first things was, okay, I kind of established a budget for myself, and I tried to figure out like what kind of things do I want to spend money on. I didn't have a ton of money to spend. I really wanted to get some land. That was kind of like what I wanted to do because I wanted to build my own gallery and for my photography. So I wanted to build a wildlife gallery. That was like one of my first goals. Yeah, so you have really good memory. So I still have it up. It's in Ethereum. It's on a 1 by 3, and in there, what I wanted to do was, there's someone who really inspired me, and his name is Clyde Butcher. He's a famous photographer in Florida. He's known for his black and white photography that's shot in a medium format with film, and so he's been around for a while. And what he did was he came to Florida and he went somewhere called Big Cypress, and it was in the middle of the state where like nothing is. It's just nothing's around there. It's just all woods and wetlands and wildlife and that kind of stuff. And so, his dream at that point in time was to build a destination for people to come to, and so he could show his work. And so he had his gallery in a real world swamp, and they offered like tours to where you could go hiking out there and all that kind of stuff. And so I thought about that and I went through that. I visited there and I visited his galleries. I met him, and it really inspired me. Number one, just to go out to these places more, because earlier in my life I was more of like a computer geek, computer nerd, and all that kind of stuff. I was still afraid of some things in nature, like snakes and that kind of stuff. Maybe alligators a little bit, but snakes probably the most. And so that limited me from really going out on my own and trying to go a lot of places I remote or whatever that I haven't been to before. And so what I wanted to do with my gallery was I kind of wanted to do like a Clyde Butcher version of what he did, but in the metaverse. And so my goal was to create the first swamp gallery in Decentraland, or swamp themed gallery, for my work. And ironically, it took me a little longer than I wanted to, and I got beat out by the Bored Apes when they first displayed their work in Decentraland. And so I was kind of a little, saddened by that, but I didn't let that deter me. And so, I ended up building a 5-story on a 3x1 for my gallery, displaying my artwork and all that kind of stuff. And in there, each floor was a different theme. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to have each floor, like right now, you walk up, you get to the main level, and that is kind of, it's landscapes and things like that. And if you go down one level, you could see it's the burrowing owl's den. So in there, you kind of go underground, kind of like the burrowing owls are, and there's all my photos of burrowing owls in there. And so that was kind of like how I wanted people to experience it, to where you start out on the main level and then you have to go down a level. Because back then when I built that, very few experiences in Decentraland had any kind of like elevation change to where you actually go down once you walk into the scene. And so that was something I wanted people to feel and to have a sense for, and then also to kind of make it realistic and reminiscent of the burrowing owls that live underground that we have here in Southwest Florida. And so that was kind of one of the first things that I really wanted to do with my gallery in Decentraland.
The burrowing owls.
Yes, they're awesome. They're like my favorites.
I know that you have quite a few examples on your OpenSea created section of shots that you've taken of the burrowing owls, especially like the really cool one of this one, Star-Lord, with its eyes that like just look like the universe basically.
Yes, and that one, those eyes are super rare as far as here in Southwest Florida. It's a genetic trait that's very, very. I'm trying to think what the proper wording is here. It's not dominant, so it's recessive, very, very recessive, and I think it's maybe even a mutation. And so those eyes, there's really only like 2 locations I'd found that had those owls, and not all of them have them there. And so it's just certain families seem to have that in our area. And to get that shot, it really took me 2 different seasons of searching and trying to find the right place. And really to get up close and get that shot was really tough. Required good timing, a little bit of luck. And so I would go to that spot over and over again for weeks on end, like 3 or 4 days a week, and try to see if I could get that shot. And so this one was really, really what I wanted. And I loved it. This is one of my favorite shots of all time. Just seeing the eyes, and it reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy. That's kind of where I got the name for that one, Star-Lord. So for anyone who's a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. And in addition to that, if you look at like the details of the sand on the nose, it kind of lets you know that it's a little dirty down there, that not everything's 100% clean in nature. So that's something I kind of wanted to feature in this photo.
Oh, yep. He was definitely hard at work that day.
Oh yeah, they're always hard at work. Nature's not always friendly. It's you got only the strongest survive.
Exactly. Oh my God, I just clicked on this the sandy burrower, and his eyes like really popped out to me, like the yellow part of his what looks to be his dilated eyes.
Yes, and these burrowing owls. That's one of my favorite things about them is that their eyes and they almost create the head angle, and the eyes create so many different, what I would say, facial expressions that these animals can have. And it's just, and I could spend and I have spent months and months every year for like 3 or 4 years photographing them. And just really, there's so many different shots and different things that come out when you photograph them. And so for me, they're super fun. They're great. They're very small. Also active during the day. For most owls are not out during the day. They're pretty much, they're nocturnal. They're out at night.
Yeah.
And so these owls are just, they're such a hoot to watch. And if I'm ever like if I'm sad or having a down day, like just going there, thinking about either just looking at my photos if I can't go there, or going and photographing them is really just, it really brightens my day and really brings a little more cheer and fun, because these owls, they seem like they have lots of fun, even though they may not have the longest of lifespans, and they're very small. They're maybe 8 to 12 inches max, and so they have a lot of predators, and
Yep.
It's very tough for them. And so that's what I want to kind of capture my images, is these kind of small, these fun having creatures, and they're also a little vulnerable as well. And so that's what I try to capture with these burrowing owls. And the thing is, with the light, just like this one with the big eyes, you could see that this was like in the morning at sunrise, right before the light was coming out, really. And so their pupils really had adjusted. And sometimes as well, they'll be looking away and facing away from the sun, and they turn their head, right, like 180 degrees or whatever it is, just real fast, like, and then their eyes just are really big before the light hits them, and then their pupils shrink down again.
Oh, that's awesome. I did not know that it was like the dilation in their eyes was because of their eyes just adjusting to the day.
Yeah, and they adjust really fast, so you got to be quick when you take these shots.
You must have been posted up.
I was ready. I was locked on, ready, picked up my target, and just waiting for the head to turn. That's what I was waiting for.
So the last piece of work of yours that I would like to highlight is Naples Blues, because we don't have our pier anymore since Hurricane Ian took it.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. I was so sad when that happened. I live in Southwest Florida. I've lived here since 2004, and so it's been 20 years now. And I've been coming here since probably about 1990, 1991. I've had friends and family that have lived in the area, and so Naples has always been a destination for myself, my family, and early on, I started with landscape photography. That was really what I started with, and I really started enjoying photographing the Naples Pier. And so that was, for me, there wasn't many things that I really enjoyed photographing that were man-made. Almost like 95% or 98% of my images that I've taken have zero people in them. They have zero man-made objects, no buildings, which is hard as far as trying to create an amazing piece of work, because objects like piers and roads, they really create leading lines to add a lot to images. So I kind of make things a lot more difficult for myself than they need to be. But the Naples Pier was definitely one of those things that I made exception for.
Yeah, like even me, I mean, I live in Naples, so like losing the Naples Pier to me was kind of like one of those things like, oh, that's like one less activity in this town that doesn't have many activities for me to do.
It is, and it's a huge destination for people, or it was before it went down. And this is when I took this photo. I was with a group of friends, and they were one of them was a big landscape photographer, traveled all around the world, and try to get different shots. And so he would try to time things with different events. And so this one it's a moon set over just before sunrise during blue hour over the Naples Pier. And so there's apps and different things for your phone that you could have. There's one called Photo Pills, and you can calculate, what time of year, where the moon's going to be, where the sun's going to be. And so we planned for this special moment to go out there. And this is a long exposure that I took. I used some filters, and it was just really awesome. It was a beautiful morning, And this moment was really, really special to me. And I, of course, even more so now that it's not there anymore. And I'm really thankful that I went out and I took this photo back then because it's preserving a piece of history, and it's a lot more special to me now than it was back then. So that's one of the things I think that's cool about photos is, the real world changes,
Yep.
and it's just, sometimes they mean a lot more in the future, and there's things that we could never predict, right?
Yep. Yep. This one definitely hits a little harder right about now.
Well, and there is, I know that, this is the last image you want to talk about, but there is, I think if you want to bring up, there's another one that has like a storm with lightning and pilings in there. If you look up like pilings,
Is it under your manifold account? Your
it's underneath my created. No, it's not. It's under landscapes. If you go back to the,
okay, created.
oh, yeah. So what I want to talk about, so this image,
Oh,
if you just scroll down, yeah,
Canada landscapes.
no, this is Florida landscapes, and
Oh, right here.
it's no, that's gonna be the okay. So what I want to talk about though with these pilings is that they are Florida landscapes should be there. Go right, or maybe it's delayed. So Florida landscapes. There you go. Okay, so that one right there. So there's a photo of lightning. Florida pilings light show. If you go to that one there, so this is actually the old Naples Pier from way back in the day. So I actually photographed that one as well. And all that remains, these are still there as far as I know of. But this is like from, I don't even know how many years old, very, very old. And so this is the Naples pilings, the old Naples Pier from way back in the day. It's about a mile north of the pier that used to be we just talked about. And I would go there for 2 summers. I went and I would go pretty much for, like, we have a rainy season that happens from maybe April through August or September or something like that, maybe October kind of for the most part, but that's when most of the storms happen. And so I had, my weather apps and my lightning app. And so what I would do is I would watch the weather every day, and I would try to find like right after sunset, right during blue hour, when these storms would be 4 to 8 miles over the Gulf.
Hmm.
And I wanted to use these pilings once again. I don't do a lot of man-made objects and things like that, but this one, I wanted to show you something that used to be and use that as kind of leading lines towards something interesting. And so, and when you're doing landscape photography, you want to have like a foreground, a midground, and a background. And so the foreground for me was the beach and the pilings, and then the midground is kind of like the water in the Gulf of Mexico there, and then the background is the lightning and the clouds, and also the rain. So very, very heavy rain. And so the ideal conditions for me were to have lightning strikes. I wanted to have 2 or 3 different ones and try to position them or have them occur in certain positions for these photos, and you can see there's like very deep levels of clouds up and down. You can see there's different, it's a very
Hmm.
good contrast on
Yep.
those clouds. And so that's what I was trying to achieve. And this shot was the best one I had. And really, I haven't published any of my other ones or anything like that. This is probably the only one I will do from it was over summers. Like I said, it was like 6 months out of the year. I probably photographed like 70 different nights out there. And
Wow.
you're photographing for 3 to 4 hours. And in addition to that, I had lightning strike next to me right around the time I took this photo,
Ugh.
and so I lost some of my hearing a little bit in my right ear from that.
I, as a person that has lived in Florida for a lot of their adult life and, at a teenage as well, like I've almost gotten hit by lightning, and yes, I too lost my hearing for a few days after that one. What is it with us Florida inhabitants that almost get struck by lightning a lot?
Well, I think, yeah, maybe we're just a little crazy. I don't know what it is, but I had this obsession with lightning, and I was always kind of afraid of it as a kid. Once again, photography really, I would say, taught me or allowed me to, or gave me an excuse to overcome my fears of pretty much everything. And so I think I got a little too brave and brazen with the lightning, and felt invincible. However, I'll tell you that I'm not quite as gutsy these days, and I'm not really willing to take those risks that I did after that incident happened. But I'm glad that I did. I'm so glad that I did.
You hear that lightning alarm and you're like, ah, I think it's time for me to get into some shade.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and it's one of those things that it's not lightning's not really predictable. I what I would do is I'd have this app and it would show me where they are, and usually the clouds they come in, they go from on land to over the Gulf, and so they're coming over you if you're on the beach. So luckily, my car would be nearby, like 200 feet away in the parking lot, and I would like run to that and then stay in my car until the lightning bolts got over me and then got over the Gulf. However, lightning can travel like 10 miles if it goes sideways. In addition to that, sometimes you get those random stray bolts of lightning that really aren't part of a large group of bolt strikes. And so that's what happened here. And, I thought I was watching it. I was watching everything to the best that I could, but at the same time, nature's unpredictable. And that's exactly what happened here.
Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Don't fuck with the lightning.
Yep, that's it. But I'm so glad that I had those times, and really it was really, I would say, electrifying. But it was almost like watching over the Gulf, watching the storms roll over, and listening to the lightning and the thunder, or listening to the thunder and watching the lightning that was over the Gulf. I love that, and it really to me was very calming, and I really almost feel like it re-energized me, and so. That's what I really enjoyed when I would go during those summers and just go do these photos and try to get the lightning shot. So it was also it was kind of fun and exciting at the same time, running, from my camera to the car to the camera as the random bolts would, come down and things like that, and for my safety. So there's a little bit of calmness, but also a little bit of excitement at the same time.
Some chaos, if you will.
Yes, and that's what photography is all about, creating order out of chaos and art.
That is beautiful. So I guess this would be kind of a good time just to segue back into Decentraland, because I was very excited to get into this topic myself. The topic is in-world builder. Oh, by the way, if you would like to see my stream in real time, I am streaming on Discord. So
okay, excellent. Yeah, let me pop that out.
Yep,
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So in-world builder. What is in-world builder, and what is the goal?
Yeah, so in-world builder is a project from 15 people and artists, coders, from Last Slice Collective, and it was really inspired by the current situation in Decentraland as far as the existing builder or builders. And so a lot of us, including myself, had spent a lot of time using the regular builder, not the SDK particularly. The decent amount of us have used the SDK, but this is what I'm going to be speaking about just in regards to the regular builder itself on the website. So, I know that from my frustrations and other people's, that it was very difficult to work with. And it was very limiting as well, once again, for people that were non-coders. And so what we had talked about as a group, and some of the things we wanted to accomplish, were we wanted to create a tool and a new builder that was in world, and that people that were non-coders would be able to use, and something that was easy and smooth, and that was an immersive experience at the same time. Leaving the current, if you're in Decentraland and you're building, or you're building on the current builder, in order to preview it, you have to, click in, go to a different window, and then go check it out, and then see if the changes that you had made had, what the changes you made, how they look in the world. And so we really, there's kind of a disconnect there. And so we really wanted to keep the experience in Decentraland. In addition to that, we wanted to take it up another notch or two. And so we wanted to make it collaborative. That was the huge part of this, was teamwork, right? And multiplayer. And so we wanted to give people the opportunity and the ability to further deepen their communities and just the builders themselves, and to really maybe create some more unity for people on the platform, because there really hasn't been a ton of experiences in Decentraland that are multiplayer.
Hmm.
There's and so we figured, hey, look, there's an opportunity here to create a builder that's real, that's in time, or sorry, real time multiplayer, and so we wanted to create that more of a positive environment instead of a
Hmm.
PvP type situation. Create a team building situation.
That is awesome, and I mean, I have seen like examples of the in-world builder of like different individuals being able to go onto the same scene and like kind of collaboratively work on something together. By any chance, would you like to take over the shared screen and show us any like how the
Yeah,
in-world builder is laid out and how anyone could use it?
totally, totally. I'd be
All right,
happy to. So thank you so much.
no
Yeah,
problem.
so I'm
I'll,
going to share my screen now, and
and I'll,
yeah, so thank you for this opportunity. So I just want to give a little more background real quick. First off, are you able to see my screen? Do you see like a
here, 1 second. I'm gonna have it already.
hopefully I'm sharing the right screen here.
Yep, you are.
You see like a parrot and all that kind of the background, and okay. So
Yep.
this is our logo here upside down. This is our in-world builder. This is our lobby area that anyone who comes
Here,
in
1 sec.
will be able.
One
Okay.
sec. 1 sec. I just gotta put it on the on OBS. In world. Nope. Wrong. Discord house. Nope. And okay, and we're good to go. Sorry about that.
Awesome. Yeah, no worries. Okay. So this is kind of where people would be jumping in. Well, just to let you know, we're about 5 months in out of 6 months. So we're still doing some bug fixes, things like that, and we're still adding some more decorations. This is our our in-world lobby and this is a whole world, just to give you an idea. And so when people come in to our world for the in-world builder for the first time, this is where they'll spawn in, and this is kind of where everything starts. And so we're going to have a screen here that's going to have a few different things. We're going to have some trophies on the side here for people that enter our competitions. And the TV is going to have like some of our tutorials and things like that. So if people want individual lessons and instructions through video on how to use a variety of the tools and the features and functionality, we're going to have that available to them as well.
Nice, nice. The parrot.
Yes, and so right now we've got I'm in our lobby world once again. We've got a competition going on. We just started. It started on Thursday after our town hall appearance that we made, and made a quick presentation for about 5 minutes. And so right now we've got 14 people that have signed up for so far for this. And to give you an idea, I just want to go over this real quick. So I'm gonna be switching
Mm-hmm.
over. Do you see this new sheet here that I kind of
Yes,
pulled up?
yes, I do.
Okay. So currently, these are some of the important dates. So this is our first competition. We're going to be doing many more, and this first one is kind of a test and for us to learn a little bit. So please, bear with us if you have any issues. Also, like I said, we're still working out maybe a few kinks and errors that are just kind of rare things that occur, or certain situations that we were not able to find so far during beta testing ourselves through our testing Tuesdays and everything else. And so if you do find any issues, you could let me know, or Lastrom, or anyone on our team. We have, Rustan and M and Dr. Drip and lots of other people. Just please, we'd love to hear your feedback. We'd love to hear how we can improve. We've also, had lots of awesome input from the community on different things and features that they would like to have added as well, which, hopefully in the future, we would like to have a lot of more things added as well than what we already have. And so currently for this competition, we have, you can sign in and build through the 21st. So right now it's the 12th. We've got about 9 days left, which is plenty of time to come in. We're giving people a 2x2 plot that is within our Builder World lobby. So anyone can come in and sign up in world, which I'll show you in just a minute here on how that goes. But you could build for our first competition, you can build any scene that you would like. There's no theme requirements or anything like that. The only restrictions, there's a few of them. We have players that own a DCL name will be able to vote, just to help try to keep the voting a little honest and to help with tracking and things like that to keep things fair for those builders and that are working hard to do their builds. And voters will be able to build for their top 3 builds. So we're giving people multiple options to choose from and to boost other people and to give their feedback and say, hey, I love your scene, and you're going to get one of my votes. You cannot vote for your own build, and if there's any ties, we'll take care of that. Have a revote with 48 hours, and then we also have another limit that isn't mentioned here. Is there's not going to be any custom objects that people are going to be able to use for this first object, for our first build competition. And so we will allow that in future competitions and probably the next one. We just kind of wanted to keep it simple, keep an even playing field, and allow people to learn and see all the different in-world builder objects that we've created, because we're going to be creating 1,800 3D objects. Right now, I think we've got about 1,200 in there that have been uploaded and that people are able to use. And then we also have 2,400 or so original 3D objects. And then we've got a couple hundred audio objects as well that people can use for background music or for just attaching things to like a door. You could have your door creak when you open and close it, or maybe you have a chest in there. And then you can open and close the chest, and then you have those sounds as well. So that's kind of, the last thing is, this is an individual competition. So while we do pride ourselves on having and being live, multiplayer, collaborative building, we wanted just to have the first one have individuals just so they could go at their own pace and just take a little bit of time to learn about all these different objects and learn the builder and things like that. And so we're going to make, level up things a little more and make them a little more intense for the next competition. And so we also would like for people to give us their feedback, once again, on what they would like to see for our next competition. Like, would it be a 4x4 with 4 different builders, or is it a 5x5? And so those are the kind of things that we want to hear from you all as a community, because we want to make it interesting and make it fun as well. And we do have prizes, just so you know, for the different winners of our competition. First place is a gold trophy, and that's going to be displayed in our lobby area that I just showed you when people log into our IWB lobby world. And then we have 100 mana to the first place. And then everyone's going to be getting an IWB wearable as well that we've had created. And then second place, silver trophy, 50 mana, and then bronze trophy, 25 mana. And then once again, those trophies will be displayed in our lobby world. So I'm going to go back real quick. So this is our in-world lobby. And as you can see here, there's signups here in the corner. I'm just going to show this quick video of, this is just going to show people how they can sign up. And so this is on our Twitter account. Our Twitter account is @InWorldBuilder on Twitter. And so you can go there. You can see like a few posts ago, and that's where this video could be in case people want to rewatch it. But I'm going to play that video for you real quick here. And you're not going to be able to hear it, but this is the process. You can see you click the details here, and then this is how you could see all of what I just showed you in case I went over too fast or you just want to remember. So all that's available in world, and people are going to be able to sign up in world. So you're going to have here sign up, and then you're going to click yes, and then it's going to say over here you've been registered, and then you're going to go to our IWB menu, and then your builds, and then you're going to be able to click here to teleport to your build, and then you'll have a nice sign out front. And so this sign will be here, let you know that's yours, and other people as well. And then you can begin building. And so you can place objects there and manipulate them, whatever it is you'd like to do. And so that's kind of just a brief overview of the quick sign up process. I'm going to go a little more in detail here as far as how to build and things like that. So I'm in our IWB lobby world, and I have the, oh wow, someone put a giant cat here. Okay, that's interesting. So I might have to take care of that. That's interesting.
Very, very suiting for tonight's show. Yes.
Mew, mew.
This was not my doing, but I'm happy someone did.
So yeah, someone photobombed this intentionally and from the background. We've got some wildlife here to parrot as well, and so yeah, Tang Poco's got that going on. As you can see, we've got some interesting, like this is one of the original objects from the builder that's able to be used, which is super cool. Those are very block style. You can see like Lastrom, he's doing like maybe a castle type theme. This is kind of like Minecraft, right?
Hmm.
And so it's very reminiscent of that. So all of the people that have already started, you can go look at theirs by walking around like I am. As you can see, this is like a 2x2 that hasn't been used yet. And then you can see the ones that are green in this background here, they have been used. And so people are already starting their builds. You can get ideas from them. And if you don't want to manually walk there, you could click our icon up here. You can go to builds. And then in here, you will see all of the different builds that people have already started in here.
Oh, that's cool.
And all of these people are part of the competition right now. And so these are all people who have signed up, and like Rustan. So we're going to go to his place right now, right? So we're going to teleport there. You can see here, Rustan. Oh, wow. So he's got a lot going on. Look at this.
He's even got
So
wildlife.
he's got I know, he's got a flamingo. He's got these dragons and the palm trees. I love that he's got these trees there to add a little bit of nature and wonderful building. So look at this. He's got a bar with tacos, DCL. Oh, nice chill chair, red Solo cup, Rip Toby Keith, amazing song. And let's see here. So yeah, so this is what he has going on with his 2x2. Nice car out back. Ooh, Aston Martin, love that. And so this is just an idea of what you can do with your 2x2. And so I'm on our road right now. I just have permission to build here. No one else does. But so you go here. If you want to start building, you have to have access to your scene and to build. But once you do, you could come here and you click this cube. And so that cube is going to be our assets catalog. And you go in here, you could choose what kind of objects that you would like. So you're like, hey, let's start with 3D. Okay, so we've got 3D, 2D, audio, and then we've got some kind of smart objects. So we'll go to 3D, and then I like animals and wildlife. So let's go here. But you can see we have all of the original themes that are with the first packs that you have in the builder. And then we've added some as well. And so there's a lot of different ways you could search in here. You could use both of these drop downs and they work together. And then you could also manually search within them as well. Mm-hmm. If I just wanted to say like, let's see here, let's use bear, right? So of course, none of these are showing up right now. We're working on making our thumbnails more efficient. Right now, they're like 144 megs or kilobytes, I mean. And so we're looking to make them like 4 to 10 kilobytes just to give an idea. So I think that hopefully optimizing those will make it so they show up better. Originally, they were showing up perfectly, but I think there's been some changes. So if I want to click, I can click the black bear, and then it comes out, it's in front of me, and then I can press F to drop, or I can press 1 to cancel. So I'm just going to drop it here, and you can see there's this bear. And then if you hover over it, what I'm going to show you, of course I can't really. So if you look at the top right-hand side of my screen, there's going to be a hover option that comes up here for the bear. And that's going to let you know that you can edit, you can grab, and these are the quick buttons to press. And so you could duplicate it really easily and be like, hey, another bear, boom, right here. So we got 2 bears going on, super easy to build. And that's one of the things we wanted to do here was make it really, really easy. Okay, so I'll change the time of day here to make it a little better for you here. Thanks, AJ. So let's see here. We're going to go about noon. All right, let's see how that goes. Okay. So we've got our bears here.
Ooh,
and
nice.
So let's see. So we've got our 3D objects. We've got some bears. You can see I clear this out. It immediately changes. We'll go to animals and wildlife again. Add a bison. So we got bison here. Bison's done. And then if you just want to say, hey, look, he's not on the ground, right? Super easy. You come here, press 0. He's on the ground. Click save. Boom. Really easy. And I'm going to go back to there because I did it so quickly. So I apologize for that. And this is our transform menu. You can see there's a lot of different options. So I'm going to transform. We have up and down arrows, which you can use to move them left and right, up or down. So you can see here. And then, of course, you click these microscopes that changes how much that you're moving them, or you can manually click in these boxes and type in information for yourself here. And it's super easy to scale if you want to scale. I just did that real fast. And then once you want to save your changes, you can click here to save your changes. And sorry, I want to go back to this object again. So then we have like visibility, if you want to turn it on and off for people to see it, or we've got triggers. This is kind of like smart objects in a way. And like, I don't know if you're familiar with IFTTT. It's like if this, then that. So if you wanted to use triggers, you have to do actions first. So you could say, okay, what kind of action do you want to create here? So you can have to where you can left click them and you want to play audio or maybe stop audio, or maybe you want to open a link to, right now, like Decentraland, the NFT frames are not working. And so maybe you want to have a 2D image of something and have that link to an NFT on a website. You could still do that with our builder here. And so if you wanted to do something like that, instead of doing a bison, you just create a 2D object that is an image. And then you would come to actions. Then you would do something like, it'd be on, you would just do open link, and they could type like NFT link if that's what you wanted to do. Then you just right click, save the URL here, which this isn't what you should do, but something like that. And then go back, and then you need to create a trigger. And so for the trigger, then you say on click, mouse click, or you could do all these other buttons. So there's really like 10 different buttons that you can use, which is super awesome on a hover option. And that's EF and all kinds of other stuff. So we'll just leave this as is for the mouse click. We're going to add that. And then you can see now we have our action, we have our trigger. And so now right now we're in build mode, and there's two different modes. So when you're in build mode, it's a little different. We purposely don't run things like animations. We also don't run some of like the sounds and stuff like that, because we want people to just be able to focus and things like that, understand what's going on. And so there are ways to like still play sounds manually in the build mode, or you can go to the play mode, and then you can see it says click here. And of course I didn't have a good link. If I had a better link, then it would click and work out. But right now it's not doing that for me, of course, because I'm showing you, of course, that it's not working. So let's see here. What else I want to show you real quick. So what I was talking about here is, you can see here, there's NFT frames. Those aren't really working right now. They're not displaying properly in Decentraland. We've put in to have that taken care of. Unfortunately, it's going to be 3 or 4 months for what we're being told. So the workaround is doing this image and then doing what I just showed you with the adding action and all of that stuff. So that's kind of the trigger. So that's kind of the workaround right now. In addition to that, we have another thing here called collision. So you could turn the collision off for this object so that you could walk right through it, which is super cool. So you could do that for any type of object that you would like. If you just want to have something visible, or maybe you're working on your scene and you want to be able to walk through it, and then at the end you can come back and you're like, all right, I'm turning it back on. So then it's boom. And then of course, let's see here. Yeah. So you'll see here that the bears, though, they have their triggers. I don't know why it's not updating for this one yet, but that's the triggers. So I'll make sure that I see what's going on with that and get that taken care of. But what else I want to mention is we have smart objects. So we have click areas and trigger areas. So trigger areas are when you walk within an area, then you can make something happen, just like I showed you through those triggers and actions. So you can have it teleport someone, or you could have a sound start playing or stop playing. And you can also have that for click area as well. Maybe have a custom sign that you create or a sign you put up. You can add text on it. So I'm just going to show you this. So like right here, you can actually manually add text. So if you could have like a blank sign, there are some signs in the builder, and then you could just add text there. And then that text, you can customize it. You can say, hey, what is this text? You can say test. And then you could say, okay, we're going to add this. And then you could add like that action to a link or something else. And then boom. and then it's done. And so you could send people somewhere else or do whatever it is you like. There's a lot of different options. And so let me see what else. Yes, do you have a question? What do you
Oh
want to know?
no, no. I was just gonna say that the UI that you guys have put together for this is incredible. I'm especially like impressed with the trigger section of it. You're basically coding it without coding it, you know, and even same with like the colliders. Like, I remember of nights sitting in a Discord call with our friend, the Crypto Tengu, and him just trying to figure out colliders for hours and hours, and just like, struggling with it. This is definitely like, a definitely step forward when you can now drop your colliders in so easily.
It is. And so something else I want to show next is there's an eye over here at the bottom right of the top right hand corner. So this eye button is our information button. And what it does is it allows you to do a few different things. Number one, it shows all the objects, how many are in the scene, and it shows you the total amount of space that you're using. And it tells you individual objects as well. So all the individual objects are on here, and you can paginate across to see them all. And so you can see here, I just did this text, and that's here. The bison's here, black bears, and they're all here. So we have the option to hide them very easily. You can see here, boom. Or let me walk over here so you can see what I'm doing here.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the bears are disappearing.
Yep.
Very easy to use. In addition to that, we have this lock button to where you can lock an object so you don't accidentally click it or something else. If you have a lot of objects that are on top of each other, maybe like a bar scene, and you're putting a ton of different drinks or something on the countertop, that could be something you're just like, all right, I don't want to accidentally, click that and delete it or something else. So I'm going to lock that. Then we also have, you can actually delete the object as well. So that's another option, which of course I need to update that. For some reason it's not working right now.
That's really
So
cool.
yeah, so like I'm going to go to, you can also go to like say Black Bear. You can click the object here. You go to, oh, maybe it's not. Okay, hold on one sec. Let's see. So this is all the objects.
Mm-hmm.
And something else I want to show you is, let's see here. By the way, so you had mentioned UI. So the UI is, we had M and Rustan, who did all the design work and a lot of the layouts and things like that. So you were praising it. That's their work. And so they did an incredible job. I personally love the black, the grays, the whites, just the gray style. And I think it's very easy to see, and it's very pleasing to the eyes.
It is.
And so we have here Explore, just to give an idea, this is our main Explore window. So if you, for some reason, just outside of our competition that's going on, want to visit other people's worlds, right now, I've only been in one world right now. I'm currently in our builder world. And so this is our lobby for our builder world, but there's so many more. And anyone who has a name can come and create their own worlds. And in your world, you're going to have access to build tons of different builds. And really, that's like 2,400 maybe parcels that you could have access to and subdivide into different builds, or maybe even have into one build. And so there's a lot of opportunity for building out there. Like, let's say that you own your own name, right? And you maybe own a parcel in Decentraland or 2 or 5, or maybe you just want to build in your own worlds for DCL worlds and deploy to there with your name and your link to your name, like .dcl, like mees.dcl, or is it .dcl.eth or something like that? I can't remember. Sorry, what the current address is. So that unique name that you have, you get access to have you build your own world here, which is incredible. And you can visit other people's as well. And you could, like I said, you could subdivide it, and there's a lot more options within there. So I'm going to go to our next thing here. You also could favorite them, and you can scroll over and see how many people have built their own worlds here, which we have probably about, I think, 30 different people so far that have done so, which is super awesome, considering we've only been really in beta testing for the most part.
So
You can see, yeah.
I see a comment from Lastrum in the Twitch chat. It's pertaining to the action that you're trying to do with the bison. Was it? It says Mies has to add the action to the trigger.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, so he sent me a message. Sorry, I was busy speaking, and so there's something I didn't do that I should have. So give me 1 minute here, and I'll get that taken care of. Hold on one sec.
Little off track.
Yeah, totally, totally. So I'm just gonna refresh this for 1 second here.
Sounds good. And to everyone on Decentraland, thank you so much for being here. I've seen It Sucks to Be Me jump in, as well as Fermion. Welcome, Cyrus. So good to see you, old guy. I see you over there. My boy Chrono T is in the house as well. And yeah, we're up to 30 individuals at DollHouse right now. We have 3 here in the Discord chat, or actually we have 1 in the Discord chat, like 6 or 7 in Twitch, and a few others scattered around in other streaming platforms. Thank you for being here, and yeah, take it back, Mies.
Yes, thank you so much. So we also have our settings menu, of course, that's here, and this may have more stuff in the future, just so you know. So right now we just have visual things for like the notifications and things like that. And then we also have, like I said, our builds here and my worlds. So like right now you could see here, this is for my stuff, me personally. Everyone has their own, whether or not they've initialized them. You could see that I've created my world and whether it's been initialized. And we have how many builds I have and how many days ago since I've last updated it. So you don't even have to travel to people's scenes to see when they've last updated it and how active they have been. So I clicked the teleport to my world. I'm going to teleport there right now, and I'm going to travel to my world. So I press continue, and I teleported to my Mies world. So it's mies.dcl.eth essentially. Within here is, within our builder is my link here.
Okay.
So you can see here, I have all the green parcels are my different builds to give you an idea. So these are all the ones that I have options to build on currently, or I could build something new. So I'm going to come over here real quick and show you this. Let's see. So first off, before I do that, we do have our custom assets. So these are not able to be used in our build competition, just to let you know. But we do have a custom asset uploader. So this is like the only thing that is an outside link currently. And it's because we haven't been able to keep it in world. We just don't have a way to do that currently. And so we have 3D assets and audio assets, custom for each user, can be uploaded, which is super awesome for their own individual worlds and things like that. And you can export as well. And we are going to have, it's not currently available, but it will be very soon, to where you can export directly to your worlds for your DCL worlds. Maybe you wanted to build 400 parcels in there, you can do that here, or to your own land in Decentraland as well. So both of those will be options to easily deploy to those worlds.
Nice.
Now you're gonna see a few more things here in tabs on my builder here now that I'm in my own world. So previously I was in our IWB lobby, and because I'm not the owner of that lobby, I don't have all the same rights that I would have if I'm in my own world. There are some rights for scenes that can be assigned, but for overall for the world, that there's a few different things that are out there. So I'm going to go over kind of with you right now what some of those are. So one of them is information. Okay, so we've got our info tab, and it tells you like what version you're on, what version is out there total. So you can see I'm on 17. 17 is the newest. However, I do need update because we did push some updates just before this. So that was one of the mistakes that I made, unfortunately. So I apologize for that and why some of the things weren't working. We're doing some last minute adjustments before I started on here. So you can see this is our versions. I'm going to click update right now. So this is how you would update and see what the latest things are that we have. And this is going to push the latest updates. It takes about 1 to 2 minutes just to give you an idea, but you will get a confirmation that pops up once it's complete. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to just quickly go over a few other things that are in here. So we've got our help tab in here. And right now there's nothing in there, but we're going to be working on incorporating some of those videos, just like I told you, for our tutorials. And those are going to be included in here. So we're going to have maybe some total overall overview videos. And then in addition to that, we're going to have individual videos that cover certain features and functions as well, just so people can have a better understanding. And once again, this is going to be in world to make things a little easier, so that people don't have to go searching to a million different places and try to go find things. So we want to make things very easy to find and explorable as well. So that's kind of what we went with for our UI and all of our settings menus here. Now you can see here, it says my new world has been deployed, meats.dcl.eth. Which, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reload here just so that those updates can go into effect.
Yep.
So do you have any questions so far for me?
No, just amazing comments that I'm reading here from OG Contraband. If this is a DAO project, this is money well spent. He's just blown away by what In-World Builder is doing here, as well as like the rest of our friends.
Well, excellent. I'm so glad that OG Contraband appreciates it. He's a very creative individual, and so that really means a lot that he said that. So I've seen, his from some of the laser tag stuff that he's put out there and some of his other projects as well. So that's super cool. And so I'm going to go back to these menus and cover a little more. So you can see here, we've got our assets in here as well. So I don't really have, let's see here. I'm going to go to create. So we're going to create a new scene here. I'm just going to show you how easy this is. So I'm in my own world, right? So that's the only way you can create. You can't create a new scene if you're in someone else's name or someone else's world. And we're just going to say like test 1x2. Okay, so that's going to be our thing here. And then you can enter a scene image, and then you could say, do we want to enable the scene? Yes, I'm going to have it enabled so that I can see it. And then we're going to have scene private. So I'm going to leave that off for now. But that's so you could hide it from other people, in case you have maybe a special project you're working on or something just for the future, maybe a secret project or something exciting coming up, and you don't want people that are exploring all of our different worlds here to see. So I'm creating it now. You can see all the existing scenes out there are red, and we have some options here on the right-hand side. So I'm going to click toggle parcel, and you can see that the parcel I'm currently standing on has turned green, and I'm going to come over here. And so I've got two now. And so you can see a couple different things changed. So you can see two parcels. It shows the limitations. So we have different limitations, just so you know, within our world. So you kind of have two different options as a builder. So one of them is, we have these limitations to where it tells you, how many you have, as far as, do you have, 20,000? This is your limitation for this size if you wanted to deploy to your world, so that you meet Decentraland's limitations, and to the scene size as well. So click save, and now you can see here, I'm able to build on this scene.
Does it take any other limitations into account, like texture limitations?
So as of right now, we only have a few different things as far as limitations. So I click this information button, and then I'm going to show you here, and then another information button here. So this asset, it shows you all the assets in the scene here. So you can see I just put this house down. This house is here. I'm going to go in a little more details, and I'm going to go to size. And so this is specifically for the one scene that I currently just started, that I created, that I'm currently building in. And it's going to show you the poly count that exists right now versus your total limits for this parcel size for the 1x2. And then it's going to show you the scene file size as well. So you can see I have 0.13 megabytes out of 30. So there's a lot to go. And then we also have these bars as well to help give you more of a visualization in case you didn't want to, in case numbers really weren't what you're looking for. Just a quick glance you can kind of see. So right now, those are the only limitations we have in here. We don't really have, like you said, the textures and some of those other things as well.
Okay, nice. And so like whenever you were showing us everything that was on the last world that you were in, I noticed that it had like I think it said like 8,000, currently using 8,000 megabytes. Um, is that like based on someone's name that owns a lot of names, or is that just like a external server that you're using?
So you're talking about just how that space is utilized. So all of this, all these worlds are they're on our own custom server. So we have our own hosting, all of that. You're allowed 50 megabytes for custom storage, things like that. And then we have all, like I said, about maybe 2,400 parcels or so that you can build on within your own worlds for each world. So for each name that you have, just like I have, each one of those is its own world, and they have their own limitations, but it's a lot, and it's way more than you will have in anything that exists as far as I'm aware of in Decentraland. And we wanted to give people the room to not only build in an easier, more fluid way than exists today to their existing scenes in Decentraland worlds or just their parcels in Decentraland, but we also wanted to give them a place to build more unique and different scenes as well that maybe they can't do in those other places. And so we have that to where you're able to use your name. Anyone who has a name can build and create their own worlds, and they could do that here with these up to like 2,400 parcels, which is super awesome.
Yeah, it is indeed. And I like this comment by Odd Job. Finally, building Decentraland within Decentraland, inside Decentraland.
Yeah, having that unified experience is huge, especially as we go towards the future of maybe VR and things like that. And maybe even mobile, right? So these are all those different things. How horrible would it be if you had a VR headset to where you were in the world, but then you had to click outside to a link to in a browser, and then go into the browser, and then go back to the building, and then go back and forth, back and forth. It becomes very tedious, and it's really we want to keep people in the scene and in the world, and keep it immersive, and keep it as a unified experience. And so that's why we kind of did everything we did, and why we wanted to keep as much as possible in world. Other than like I said, that really the custom asset uploader, which that's once you upload them all, you don't really have to use that, so everything is in world. So that's really what we wanted to do. We wanted to make building easier, faster, make it collaborative, live in world, and that was our goal. And I think that we accomplished that. We did an amazing job, thanks to our team.
Mm-hmm. And so I've noticed that, like, with as far as Last Slice goes, it seems like the vision of doing everything in world, or creating the means of doing everything in world, has been a mission for the group. How does the creation of in-world builder help advance, or like help move other projects such as Angzar forward into its development?
Yeah. So I would say that as far as, like, let's say Angzar, for example, now that one's it's very complicated. I'd say that scene is one of the largest, most code intensive experiences in Decentraland. And so it may not be the best example, but I'll give you an example of what I would see as far as myself as a creator, and what I would maybe be able to do or want to do with it in order to maybe create additional experiences, or even just additional experiences, or things beyond what already exists for Angzar. So, Angzar is 400 parcels on a plaza in Decentraland, and there's limitations there. You get 300 megabyte limitations, even though we have a custom server, and we're like 280 or something. So, we've used up most of it, and that's, there's only so much you can work with. Maybe in the future that'll increase, or maybe not. Maybe we'll be able to optimize, better in the future, things like that. But as of right now, we can't really do that. So, like, I think Draco compression or something like that, is something that Decentraland doesn't support. But if they did, and we're able to do that and compress over 3D objects, it would be much better. And so what I would use our world for, me personally, and what I would see as maybe a low-hanging fruit would be to use it for, um, let me see how I describe it here, as an experience that is maybe a dungeon or something like that, and where we create additional experiences that are still a part of Angzar, but are not essentially in Angzar itself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Now that could, yeah, and it could be, we could make them individual experiences, or we could have them as group experiences, maybe, right, with multiple players working together. And so for me, as a creator who doesn't know coding or anything like that, I would love to build maybe an underground scene or something like that that is a dungeon, and just see what I'm able to do and to create and to build, and then be able to use that for additional experiences as an add-on to our experience for Angzar per se.
Totally, totally. And yeah, in World Builder we'll create the means of allowing you to like, let's say, like you mentioned, make this dungeon, make a quest, and kind of gamify everything that we have going on here. Um, for the new user, it will be something that they can do in here far beyond, like, that expands beyond just the initial tutorial that you have, and then you get your two free your free emote, and then after that it's like you're just thrown into Genesis Plaza, like, figure it out from there. um Go ahead.
Yeah, and so some of the additional things as well, would be those actions and triggers that I showed you. And that's another thing as well within our builder here that I would totally use, and being able to have trigger areas. I think that that's going to open up a world of possibilities, from being able to teleport through maybe different areas of a dungeon, things like that. That to just anything with the what I would say is IFTTT, which is creating smart objects essentially, and having different things from the triggers and from even sounds. I think that having the ability to have certain, whether it's sound effects or background music, I think that those things are huge to add to a scene.
Hmm.
And that's something that I personally love and I've been playing with. So like for me as a builder individual, there's a lot of technology out there with AI for sound. And so I was playing with a whole bunch of builders. Now, we can't include those sounds, unfortunately, for IWB, just because we're a commercial project. We can't use those rights. But as far as individuals, maybe, there's a whole bunch of options and tools that they could create their own sounds or their own music and use them within their scenes, as long as they, have the certain rights or whatever it is that they have. And so I think that as those things advance as well, it's going to really allow, once again, a more immersive experience by having those sounds and having those triggers and having the background music, whether it's an animal. I was using those bears earlier, having those bears make bear sounds, maybe, or having a fountain, and you could hear the fountain in the water, and have that peaceful background ambiance. So what I'm going to show you here is, I'm going to show you just a little bit of how easy it is to incorporate something like that into a scene. So I'm currently in one of my builds here, just like I told you earlier. I'm in my world. As you can see here, hello, Rustan. Hello, Jim. Thank you so much for coming out.
You've been
So
found.
I have. We've got some celebrities here. So I'm going to add here, let's just say a trigger area. Okay. And I want to add something else. I'm going to add an audio. So let's just say I want to add blessing. So I'm going to go find this thing. I'm like, okay. So I found an audio, and I'm going to place this audio here. So I place an audio, and I press F on it. And so I'm going to go to the audio settings. So this audio object has its own settings, and you can make it attached or not attached to a player. In addition to that, you have the option to loop. So if you want to keep playing over and over, maybe background music, like I had said, that's something I really enjoy doing for my scenes, just to add a little element of ambiance and kind of make the player feel a little more immersed, right? We have our 5 different senses. And so the more that we can use those 5 different senses in our scenes today, I think that we should, and that it'll make it more immersive, feel more real, and keep people, wanting to come back to that experience or make it more immersive. And so we have the options to say auto start, maybe come in the scene. You can attach it to the player. So it's like no matter where you walk within the scene, it's always going to be the same level. If you don't have that on, then it's going to go by the distance, to the player from the object, and which is super cool. In addition to that, we have our volume as well that you can control. And so you can have different sounds with different triggers. You can have them different areas, and they can have their own different volume levels on top of that. So there's so much customization that you can do with audio and objects together now, which is super awesome. So if you wanted to test the sound, you could easily play it here, and you could say, hey, this is what that sound is. Different areas. Sorry, one sec. And then click save, and then that'll be done. And that's it. So the audio is there. And so once you have audio in your scene, then you can start to doing different additional things with it. So you can attach it to, let's say here, we've got our trigger area. And so right now I have it for my whole scene to where if I wanted to walk in here, someone else walked in here, they would hear it. But if I wanted to make it so that they had to walk in this area, the trigger area, I could do that as well. And so that's another option for me. Now I have to enter the trigger action first. Hold on one sec. Oh, actually, I want to do this first. I want to show you this. So we're going to add a click area and create an action here. Okay, so I'm going to say when I click this, so we're going to add blessing music. That's what we're going to call it. So this is blessing stereo. We got it. I'm going to add the audio here. You can see there's a drop down. Click add and click save. Okay.
Oh, by the way, if you're talking, I think you muted yourself.
Oh, sorry, apologize. Okay, so mouse click, okay, on click, enabled, okay. Sorry, one second, I'm trying to, I'm getting some messages, sorry, 1 second here, okay. Apparently spending some time in the so you can see here I'm under actions for this object. I'm on the audio that I want to attach to something, and I have the component details here. So you've got the action name, blessing music, and I'm going to select play audio, and then I have the drop down of the different actions. So I'm going to say, hey, I want to play blessing. So blessing has now been added, and it's now there. So that's how you attach different actions and triggers to an audio within your scene. So we have the option to, number one, like I'm just going to go over briefly what I said. So we have, you can create the background sound, or you could create it with different triggers, whether it's on click or enter an area, which is super awesome. So they're very diverse on what you could do with audio, and you can literally do this with a variety of different things as well. What audio would you like to put in your scene, or for any of your scenes? Do you have anything in mind? Would it be sound effects? Would it be background music?
I mean, let's see. If it's a sound effect, let's say I take a recording of a little Mew. Like, would that be possible to like drop in?
Yeah, totally. So within your scene, what you would do is you would just upload a custom asset and use our custom asset uploader. And then once it's there, then you would go into your assets catalog, and there's up here in the top right-hand corner, there's a tab, and you can turn it off and on for public or private. And so I've already uploaded these different sounds that are in here, and you can see these are my custom assets. So if you had a ton of them you wanted to just find out, you could say audio, and then any of your audio tracks you had uploaded
Okay.
would be here. Hmm.
So those are your private assets that you are like looking through right now.
They are, yes. And so I made a lot of these on my own AI, and these were just kind of for testing. But these are my own custom assets that are private. No one else has access to build with these or to use these,
Hmm.
and they're for me. And so you would be able to do that too with yours, which is super awesome. I'd love to hear that attached to maybe a cat, or maybe you get close enough to a cat in your scene, and you can hear the mewing sound. Maybe
Hmm.
it's just a very very subtle background audio. Maybe the volume's not point 0.5, maybe the volume's like point 0.2 or something, or point 1, and so it's just someone to have their volume turned up really loud in order to hear that.
Yeah. Or and could it also be kind of as an action? Could be set as an action. Like let's say there's a cat, you click on the cat and it mews, or you set foot around its area and it mews.
Yes, totally. So right now we've got this box, right? So this is our trigger area, this yellow box,
Yep.
and you're able to transform it, and you're able to edit it just like any other object you have in your scene, whether it's a 3D or 2D or whatever it may be. So you would just scale it up to wherever you'd want it, and then you would just move it to whatever location you would want to use it here. So you can slide it left, right, whatever it is, and maybe your cat was like where this house is or something,
Hmm.
and then you could just put it right in front of there,
That's
and
dope.
that's where the people would start to hear it, and then they would only hear it within that space.
The Decentraland building made easy.
That's it. And we're only so we're only so creative, and we have Central has so many tons and tons of creators out there, and once again we want to hear your feedback, your ideas, and we want to see what you have and what you can create with these new tools. And we have our builder competition for those who want to compete. It's free to compete. So I would say that's an excellent opportunity to spend the next 9 days just playing around with the builder, coming in, signing up for our builder competition in our lobby area, and just seeing what you can do, and testing some of these new bounds of these smart objects, and using the IFTT features, and using the actions and triggers between objects, whether it's teleports or sounds or anything like that. And and if for those maybe who don't want to compete for some reason, you can come in and build with your name, and you can build them in your own worlds and work on adding things to new scenes out there, and just push the envelope. That's what we want to see. So
Y-
I'm inviting all to come out, and I hope that we'll get some additional signups from this evening to come compete in our competition.
Oh,
I did put that link in earlier, by the way, for the chat here.
okay, cool. Then I will also share it again in World. So for you had mentioned that you want to hear everyone's feedback. What would be the best channel of communication for that feedback to be received?
Yeah, so you could send it to me. You could send it to Lastrom. And I'm more than happy to help you out. Any of our team members, and yeah, so we have our Twitter account as well. It's at InWorld Builder, and so you can go on there. Leave us a comment, please. Let us know. We also have more information, and the information I already covered as far as the important dates for our competition and the how-to video on how to sign up for that really easily in World. It really takes less than a minute to get started, which is really awesome.
That's sick. That's sick. Yeah, I just shared the link to the in-world builder. If anyone wants to sign up, make sure to do so. And yeah, get in there, break some stuff. They from the impression that I'm getting from Mies and the in-world builder team is you want stuff to be broken and kind of like to stretch the possibilities of what's already there, and get some new ideas while you're at it.
Totally. So thank you so much, for having me out here. What other questions, do you have? Are there any other questions or feedback, that we haven't shared yet that other people would like to know about?
Well, let's see. I haven't seen any questions, but maybe after you mentioning that, we'll have some questions pop up. But I would like to kind of get into the team that is behind this project. I believe when we first started this show, you mentioned it is a 15-person team, correct?
Yes, we
Uh,
have a massive team.
who are some notable names that you could share with us that have been creating for In-World Builder?
Totally. So we have our 3D team, which is consists of Cyclopa, and we have Dr. Drip, and we have Kirzaz, and we had Josh SRH also made some objects, and Oddjob also has made some objects for us as well. So that's our 3D team. We also have a 2D UI UX team as well, and so that is Rustan and M. Like I said before, that they did, they designed our user interface and all of the beautiful icons, settings menus, and some of the user experience as well, to make it easy, fast, and fluid. Just make it as simple as possible for anyone, maybe even newer people to Decentraland to use. And so they did an amazing job on that. As far as coding, we have Lastrom, Madamus, and then we also have Dogman. So those are all of our coders that have worked on this project so far. And in addition to that, we also have our wonderful marketing team who puts out content all throughout the week on social media and in other people's events and things all over in Decentraland. And then, of course, on like LinkedIn, Instagram, and a few other places as well. We have videos on YouTube. We also, for our live streams, we do 2 live streams a month on average right now that are called our World Storming events. So we have one of those coming up soon. Let's see, about on the 16th. So yeah, it's like this Friday. So we've got our World Storming events almost twice a month. And that's where we do kind of like an AMA. We previously had our beta testers come out. And so we had a select group of beta testers, and they would come and give us feedback, build live, and get to see, for themselves what it's like. And so then they would share those experiences with other people. And that's really how we have been able to get to where we are today is, not only our team and our amazing people, but the community as well. So our marketing team is M, it's Dino, and it's Shelly. So that is our marketing team. And then we also have our audio team as well. So we have Koshi on our audio team. So those are our team members, and it's been such a huge project. And we have so many different contributions and skill sets from all over the place that have really enabled us to build this incredible builder that, for once again, my personal experience and thoughts, I really wasn't able to use the builder before. I'm not a coder, I'm not a 3D artist, and I have been just dying for 2 plus 3 years now to really have something that makes it easy for someone like myself, so I don't have to go learn all those things. And so, one of those things is that I say, or that I've heard other people say as well for Decentraland is, sometimes like just you can ask for things, you could beg for things, but if you just expect other people to do it, it doesn't always get done. And so sometimes you have to do things yourself.
Exactly.
And that's what the metaverse is all about, is pushing the envelope, trying new things, and really just experimenting and having fun. And so that's what we want people to do in our builder competition, in our in-world builder, and all of that. And so we want you all to have fun. We want you all to experiment. We want you all to do all those things. And so we hope that you will. And if for some reason, you're not enjoying yourself or you're finding errors or issues somehow, please let us know. And we're happy to walk people and guide people through this process of using the builder. Anyone can reach out to me at any time. Please feel free on Discord or on Twitter. You can tag me and say, hey, I would like to learn how to use this builder a little better. And I'm more than happy to guide them with a one-on-one session and to work with them on like a video call or just a call on Discord for voice, whatever it is they would like to do to get them onboarded and to get them playing around. We want people to use this, and the more people that use it, the better it's going to be. And so that's kind of our thoughts and our processes for this amazing builder.
I love it. I love it. You had mentioned Koshi as part of the audio team. That threw me off a little bit because like normally I feel like I've always seen Koshi in like developer conversations. So that was like a little bit of a curveball for me.
Yes. So Koshi's he's done all of our audio. We've got like 240 audio, 230, 240 audio tracks is what we're going to have for this. That's going to be sound effects, and then that's going to be kind of background sounds as well. And so some of them are loopable to where they're maybe 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 14 seconds. There's kind of different lengths there. And those can be loopable tracks, and they're made and designed to be as background music. And he's an incredible synth artist, and he has put that into his music and into some of our sound effects for our scenes. We wanted to have a little bit of variety from like sci-fi and space to cyberpunk as well. And so he has done an amazing job of creating those different sound sets using synth to have a variety of sounds for people to use. A lot of scenes are futuristic. They're like I said, they're cyberpunk. So like Angzar, that type of stuff. And even for like myself, I want to know like I want to do more futuristic scenes, more space scenes. I want to see more space scenes. I want to see what people's creativity will push them, whether it's like planets or galaxies or just all kinds of stuff, spaceships, right? Things like that. And more games. So we have some gaming sounds, whether it's like laser shooting and things like that. And so Koshi, he's also recently done his project to where he has on Solana. So he calls it his 4D, his 4D artwork. And so he has different audio sound clips that he combined with visualizations as well. And it's really, really awesome. I think he's sold over like 75% or 80% maybe now. They just launched on Friday, and he's been really, really well received. So we're very lucky to have him as an artist and doing all of our audio here for the builder, in-world builder.
I love it. I love to hear it. Love to learn a little more about Koshi. Like I mentioned, I see him around. I see him always joining the developer conversations, but then like right there, that music side of him threw me off. So I'm walking away learning something more about an individual within our space today. And I mean, just to kind of bring it back to the team, like the in-world builder has put together kind of a juggernaut team of individuals. Like just if you just look in the coding section of it, it's like Dogman, Lastrum, and Madamus. Like I'm just sitting here like, okay, so all of the best devs ever are here.
Well, I'm sure I'll share that information with them and let them know that you feel that way. I do too, and I'm very, very lucky individual to be working with them. We're really pushing the limits and trying to do things that no one has done. Giving someone 2,400 parcels to build is just it's amazing in itself. And just we have different things like God mode. So to give you an idea, you can build in what's called Carpenter mode or God mode. Carpenter mode is where you're on the ground. And God mode enables you to fly around and hover and move around. And so you could see things from a different angle, and you're actually able to place things from outside the scene borders as well to fill in your scene, which is super cool. And to do that is extremely difficult. And so it requires a lot of thought processes and just testing and just trying a variety of different things that sometimes you think may work, but they don't. And so a lot of people don't see that and understand that. All the things that go on in the background just to get something that works that has never really been done before in Decentraland. When you're creating new ideas and not only creating them, but you're implementing them, it's just such, it's tough. It's really hard. If no one's ever done anything before, there's a lot of times there's a reason for that because the difficulty level, the challenge is so great and immense that it hasn't been done. And so I really like that we're constantly pushing the envelope, pushing the limits, and doing things that enable builders to do things they would never be able to before. And so as you can see, I can easily move up and down right now in God mode, and I can move left and right if you get the right height you want to build at. All you have to do is press and hold spacebar to go up, and then you can hold shift and you press spacebar again and you go down. And so it's super easy. And you can turn that off anytime. Just go back to carpenter mode by clicking a button, and really it's so easy, so smooth. I'm really looking forward to working more with this builder. Other than I've been beta testing so much and doing different things that I really haven't had the opportunity yet to really build my own world with this stuff.
Oh man, got to get into that. I mean, what better way to test than to let your imagination run wild and see what you can break?
That is exactly it. You know, I'm gonna see what the largest scene I can build is, and probably break some things trying to build that out as well, for sure. Totally. How many triggers I can have in a scene, and different sounds that make sense to incorporate, and all that kind of stuff. So on, like, who knows, 400 parcels, or maybe even more than that. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. So we have about 10 minutes left in tonight's episode of Beyond the NFT. Just want to just bring it back to you. Are there any other features you would like to share with us today before we start to wind down a little bit?
There is. There's a couple that I haven't gone over real quick that I just want to briefly cover since we only have 10 minutes left.
Yep.
So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to go to the information button here in the top right-hand corner. And this is information about your specific scene that you're in. So right now I'm in, it's called Test 2x2. And there's some options here. So you can delete all the objects in the scene by clicking here. And you can save your scene as well by clicking this floppy disk button. For those who knows what that is from being around in the 90s, early 2000s. So that's our save button here.
Always
as an
save.
Homage. Oh yeah. And for me, that's classic save button. And then we have our information button. So for a little more options, this is our information menu. So this whole information menu is for your scene. This is where you can rename your scene. So you could change your description, your image, and you can make it so that people can see or not see objects within your scene as well, in case you change your mind, you want to make it public or something like that. You can also edit parcels to add on new parcels in case you want to, maybe you own 4 parcels right now in Decentraland and you negotiate to eventually buy one from your neighbor and add to it and create 5. And so if you want to build, an add-on to your scene to do that, you can do so here by just clicking edit parcels and then going over and toggling a new parcel and then clicking save, and then boom, it's already part of your scene. So that's your new scene right there. We also have access, and so we have the ability to where you can easily add someone else. Hold on one sec. So you can just copy and paste their address here into the address bar, and then they will become a builder. They get build rights within this scene. So the great thing is, you have your own world, you have your own independent scenes that you can control and use and share visually or not share visually with other people. So you can hide and have your own secret projects, but you can also add additional builders to each individual scene that you would like to have, in case you want to be collaborative and work on projects with other people, or just allow people to build certain things within your scene. So I think that's really, really awesome. That's one of the unique features here that I'm really excited to see what people do and how they utilize that in the future. The next thing here is spawns. So you can choose the spawn location within your scene. So right now it's just 000. We're going to change that. We're going to add a new one here. Click spawn. So you can see add spawn. Right now it says it's 000. There's a couple options. You can set it for your current location where you're standing, and then you can set the camera as well. And then you can save it. So right now, I'm just going to click set spawn where I'm at. You can see the top number changed. You can see XYZ. And then maybe I want to face this way. So I'm going to set the camera here. Boom. So it's going to remember which way you are facing. So not only your location, but which way you're facing as well. So now that's available. And then I'm going to go here. You can see there's 2 spawn locations. I'm just going to get rid of that first one there. And that one's gone. And then, like I said, export options. So you can download yours as a zip right now. You'll see I click download, it says it's ready. Okay, click that. and then you can see it's downloading here. Zip, done, boom. And in the future, we're going to have, as far as export, we're going to have, like I said, direct to worlds for your DCL worlds and direct to your land in Decentraland as well. So those are going to be the three options that are going to be here.
Very exciting, very exciting. And I'm sorry. I've just been looking around through different platforms, seeing if there are any other questions. Doesn't seem to be any questions yet. And yeah, like once again, just to bring it back, like really happy that you came on tonight and you know, gave us that tutorial with in-world builder. Want to remind everyone to make sure to sign up for the competition, the in-world builder competition. I know you have a flyer here somewhere.
Yeah, so I sent you in a message, so you should have that in your messages. In addition, I just want a couple more things real quick. So, you know, we talked about triggers, and I talked mostly about sounds, but another thing you could do is animations. And so you could say, hey, a player enters this spot, and then an animation happens, which is super awesome. You know, maybe a tiger roars or something like that. So you can attach audio, you can attach an animation, and you can make a variety of different things happen. So I think that that is, you know, something that people should really come in and start to play with, is getting those actions and those triggers and playing with the trigger areas. I think the trigger areas have the most potential by far, at least for me, the most exciting potential to try out and to play with. So I really want to hear and see, you know, what people are using those for. And, you know, feel free if you post those on social media, like on whether it's Instagram or Twitter, and, you know, please tag our @InWorldBuilder so that we know we could see it. And we would love to share that with the rest of Decentraland and our followers and everyone out there, so that, you know, people can see what's already being done and then create their own things as well and inspire other builders.
Yeah, that is the main thing that where I am very bullish in. Like the more people that may sign up for either this competition or just in general use in-world builder, that will inspire the next bunch of like what is possible. Like sometimes I feel like in other platforms I've seen Rustan do something, and then kind of from Rustan doing it, like you see other builders try to like bring the same experience but switch it up a little bit. That is something that I do see happening within World Builder. It's only going to get better as it goes.
It is. And so just before we finish up here, I do want to remind people we have our builder competition going on for anyone who's come in late. We would love to have you be a part of it. It's not too late. We've got about 9 days left, which is plenty of time to build on a 2x2. It's individual. You said you're going to be posting the information. We also have it on some of our recent posts from @InWorldBuilder. And it's super easy. Takes less than a minute to sign up, get started building. And we would love to have you participate. It's free to enter. There's prizes for first, second, third. Everyone who competes is going to get an awesome wearable from us. That's our first wearable for in-world builder, and we would love your feedback, your participation, and to see your awesome creativity skills go to work.
As we can see here, first place winner will get a gold trophy that will be displayed in one of the in-world builder scenes. Which one exactly is it?
You're talking about to go in and to build. So it's that link that I posted. I can resend it to you if you'd like, but it's for our, do you want me to resend it to you? I posted it in this chat a little early on at the very beginning.
Yep, I got it. Let's see if I can pull up chat.
Here, I can send it to you again if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay, no worries.
Oh,
and just once again, we do have some recent posts on our Twitter account @InWorldBuilder, and the link is on there to get in, to compete, and all of that. And anyone can reach out to me on Twitter, on Discord here, to any questions you have, or if you just want a one-on-one session to get started, I'd be more than happy to help you out. So please feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Mies. Thank you. Yeah, so you heard it from the man himself, project manager himself from the project manager at In World Builder. You know what,
Well, thank
Mies?
you.
I'm so
What's
proud.
that?
I'm so proud with like everything you have done since like we've met.
Well, thank you, and I really appreciate you, coming out here and invite. And you've been hosting this for so long. I think I've already been on here 3 different times, and you've been so very kind, nice. I'm just everything to have us on, to have me on here, have other artists on here to promote Decentraland builders, creators, and that's what it's all about, right? So I came here as just a curious individual who loved photography, loved wildlife, wanted to do some of my own things, but the world changes, the world evolves. The metaverse is about experimenting, about building, about growing, about collaborating, and so let's take us all to the next level. Let's work together, learn from each other, and all grow as a whole. And so that's what I would like to continue doing and evolve, and like to see the Decentraland community evolve as well. So hopefully our in-world builder will help them do that.
This in-world builder is definitely a step in the right direction into developing our world. You mentioned earlier that kind of the in-world builder team kind of took the approach of like, if it's not gonna get done from our feedback, let's do it ourselves then. And that is the approach here in Web3 in general. Create the world you want to see, build the features you want to use.
That's what it's about. And you can't be afraid. You got to go out there, go out on a limb, and just do it. Because at the end of the day, really, it's just there's so many ideas out there, and people sometimes are afraid to try to say, well, oh, am I going to get my grant passed, or oh, think about all the different reasons on why something may not happen. But if they have it, it's a good idea, then maybe other people will think it's a good idea, and things grow and they snowball, and maybe they don't happen the first time, but eventually they might. And so it's all about persistence and just really once again, like experimenting and trying new things and pushing the limits. And I think that's what it's all about. And the foundation can't do everything. They do some incredible stuff, but we have the DAO as well to help bring stuff in from the community and the people who are there every single day, and who have all these other experiences in their lives to help bring in and give them additional content and insights and things that may not be there from the foundation. And so I think that that's huge, and we shouldn't undervalue ourselves, and it's all about believing in yourself at the end of the day. And once again, this is like a 15-person project. This was not done by one person, and this could not be done by one person. And so it takes working together and working as a group to sometimes achieve a lot of the high-end things and the big ideas. And so there's not only your technical skills to do that, but it also requires soft skills as well, and working together, and putting egos aside. And sometimes I think I have all the best ideas or whatever it is, or I think I have the best idea, but the truth is I probably don't. And I need to ask and refer to my team and say, hey, get their feedback, because there's so many ideas that I was like, oh yeah, we should probably do this. But after talking to other people on my team and all these other experts and geniuses and creative artists, there's just, you hear all the different people's inputs, and then you're able to actually create something better, which many times is not what I had originally thought of. And so that's what it's all about, and it's about working together and just building on those ideas with each other. And so that's how this was able to happen. That's how this was able to be done. And so I think that people need to keep that in mind, and it's about building each other up, and it's not about bringing each other down. And that's what it's about. And so I hope that we see a lot more of that in the future here for Decentraland.
Yep. I'm hoping that In-World Builder can also inspire like a future project out there to build something that a feature that they want to see, or like, yeah. So I couldn't have said it better myself, Mies. You're an awesome human being, awesome and very intelligent person, dude. And yeah, any final thoughts before we just close down and um, and throw on some RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, just real quick, once again, I just want to thank everyone for coming out today. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I never would have imagined this was possible for myself when I first came to Decentraland almost 3 years ago. And, once again, I started out as a photographer, and someone who just had a passion for playing video games and stuff like that. And anything is possible, but you have to put yourself out there. You have to take risks. You have to meet other people a lot of times and be friendly. And the more that you do things and you try things and you work together and you give other people and share your ideas, the more that things can happen. And I think that just really putting yourself in a position for the most opportunities and showing the value that you can add to other people or to the community as a whole or anything else is, that's huge, because we just, none of us know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or a month from now. And I never thought I'd be, doing what I'm doing now at all. I never thought that I would help design a video game for Angzar, or that I'd be, working as a project manager for In-World Builder. And so, these are things that Web3 and Decentraland are, it's so unique. There's just, you don't, there's so many opportunities out there. And so I think that people get discouraged a lot of times, but you just really need to be persistent and just the thing is just try to learn from your mistakes, or try to learn from other people's mistakes, and try to learn from other people and their ideas. And once again, it's working together, and not as an individual. It's working as a group and a team and being collaborative. And I think that's how the best things happen. And so we just need to keep that in mind as individuals. And I think that is what enables the highest likelihood of success. And so that's what my recommendation would be to people. So be positive. Anything can happen. It's the metaverse. Just all your dreams can come true. You just have to imagine them, and they can happen. Just try to think all the ways they can happen. If you get stuck on why something can't happen, then ask other people and see what they have to solve the problem, and maybe it can happen.
You never know. And I mean, even just to add a little to that, it's don't get discouraged and just keep trying. If something fails the first time, just keep at it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not breaking something, you're not doing it right. That's my motto.
And excellent closing statements as well.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity, and you are such an asset to the community. And I just, I hope you keep doing this for forever and ever and ever. So thank you so much, and thank you, Decentraland community. We hope to see you in In-World Builder. And once again, reach out to me anytime or tag us at In-World Builder on Twitter. We want to hear your feedback, your thoughts, and I'm willing to help anyone one by one get started with the builder or into our builder competition. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mies. Thank you. You are always an awesome guest to have on. So you're always invited. You always have a seat at the conversation on Beyond the NFT, Mies. I really appreciate your time, and my apologies for getting you out of the woods for this.
Yeah, no worries. Well, thank you so much. It was totally worth it, and I'm definitely gonna go get some rest now, since I haven't really had good sleep in like 3 days. So thank you so much. Have a good evening.
You are an animal. Thank you, Mies. And and just to finish off here, thank you everyone for being here. I think we peaked at like 33 right here at the DollHouse. This has been an awesome conversation with Mies, and I'm really happy that in-world builder representation came in to show us what is going down over at in-world builder. So make sure to follow them on X, and make sure to also enter the competition. Sign up is, I believe it's from the 8th to 21st.
In World, you can do it live, less than a minute, and we've got how-to videos on our Twitter, and also, I'm happy to walk anyone through that one by one.
Mm-hmm. So you heard Blease there. He'll if you have any trouble signing up for the builder competition, just hit him up, shoot him a DM, and he will happily walk you through the process. And Yeah, thank you everyone, and please stand by. I will get the stream going. And just some final words. Big love to Dr. Drip, Vox Boards, Gold Guy Brand, and of course our lovely hosts here at the Dollhouse, the DCL Baby Dolls. Thank you for your support and all the love you bring to our community. And yeah, let's fucking go. We'll be back here next week for another episode of Beyond the NFT. Take care, everyone, and please stand by.